Let's do this. The Cult of Hockey podcast by the faithful and for the faithful. I'm David Staples of the Edmonton Journal, and I'm here tonight with Bruce McCurdy. Hey, Bruce.
Hey, David, take two.
Take two. We just recorded a
A brilliant
35-minute
podcast.
podcast. There was such insights, so many great things said, and it didn't record. I screwed it up somehow. I don't know. All right. Sorry, Bruce.
So it goes. That was such a wonderful game, David. Let's talk about it a second time, shall we?
Can't get enough talking about that game, Bruce. I can't
Yeah.
talk about that game enough.
4-2
Okay.
loss to the Wild. What's not to like?
Grade A shots 12-8 for the Oilers. Two good things, two bad things, two numbers, and one conundrum. Bruce, what's your good thing?
Yeah, my good thing is the performance of Edmonton special teams tonight. The unit which has been under the gun, the penalty kill actually came through with a very strong effort for 4 out of 4 kills, allowing just 5 shots in 8 minutes. Two grade A shots on one power play, and otherwise nothing particularly dangerous, and a whole ton of zone clears and one battles, and not not many bad things happened in those 8 minutes. And meantime, Edmonton got two power plays, scored on both of them in a combined 2 minutes and 2 seconds, with 5 shots on net, and a post in there as well. And so that unit really got the job done. And between them, at +2 on special teams on a night where you have 2 minutes for and 8 minutes against is outstanding. The only problem was the game was 60 minutes long, and that it's the other 50 didn't quite go so well. But uh, both of Edmonton special teams, and particular shout out to that penalty kill, which has been getting crushed in February. This is their first clean sheet on the PK in the last 8 games. They gave an 11 power play goals and 22 chances the prior 7 games. So a 4 for 4 is a shining diamond in that department. And credit where due, Edmonton gave themselves a chance to win with fine special teams.
Connor Brown led the way more than 3 minutes on the PK. He was solid out there. Janmark was next. Uh, for the forwards, Nurse, Cece, and Ekholm were all really strong on the PK. They had a little bit of trouble, each of them, on a goal against at even strength. So 2-0 for special teams. You'd think the Oilers would win the game, but not to be, Bruce. My good thing, Bruce, is Connor McDavid. As we said, the grade A shots were 12-8. Connor McDavid made major contributions to 8 of those grade A shots. The Oilers didn't get much done when he wasn't on the ice, but when he was driving all night long. He hit the post 3 times, including once in the third period. Charges in over the blue line, puts it off the post, and that's kind of the key. There's 2 key plays of the game. We'll get to the second one in a second, but that was just missing that shot was just tough to take. The Oilers they came out in the third period and stormed the Wild, and they just couldn't get one past Philip Gustafsson. But McDavid was fantastic, although he's -4. He didn't make any. He did not make any major mistakes, according to our analysis, on any of the goals against. So sometimes you can get a minus on a goal against, and you're just out on the ice. It's just bad luck on a certain level. And he was attacking. And if the other players on his team had played at the same level of intensity throughout the game, this game might have had a different result in the end. But they didn't. The Wild outplayed the Oilers significantly, especially early in the game. And they were the better. I think they were the better team on the night. They deserve that win. Hate to say it. Bruce, what's your bad thing?
My bad thing is just sort of the first half of the game. Before Edmonton's first power play, mind you, they did have some penalties to kill in the first part, the first 3 penalties. But at the 30-minute mark of this game, Edmonton had 10 shots on net. And then they raised the temperature the rest of the way, and they got it all the way up to 43-20. according to NHL.com, for Edmonton on 33 shots in the last 30 minutes after having 10 in the first 30. And it just seemed the first period was played. The uh, it was fairly safe, other than a blow up in the last minute of the period, so they couldn't even get to the intermission with a with the tie score. But they had nothing going on the attack, or when they did, they missed the net, or I mean, McDavid hit the one post, which technically is a miss, even though obviously it's a close chance. But they just weren't generating really much of anything, and they tried to get down to business in the second half of the game. They found, the opposition's backup goalie is coming up huge again. We've seen this movie before, and this game ultimately was one of the Woody games at the start of the season, where every metric had Edmonton dominating except for the damn scoreboard, and of course that's the one that matters.
Whereas my bad thing is the second key play. It came in the third period. The Oilers have been pouring it on. They had the first 5 or 6 grade A shots of the third, as mentioned. And then all of a sudden, the Oilers have a little slip up in their zone coverage, or their defensive coverage. Connor McDavid and Warren Foegele go for the same player at the point, essentially. And the puck gets moved over to Jonas Brodin. And he moves down the wing then, and from the outside, he slaps in a shot that is not a grade A shot. It's a grade B shot. It's a shot that might go in tops 7% of the time, 8% of the time. It is not a dangerous shot, and Pickard loses his post. This is Stuart Skinner's been victim of this the last 2 games he's played in. And Pickard did it this game, and it cost them the game, essentially. Gustafsson was making the saves, and Calvin Pickard didn't in the clutch. And he had made some good saves. Of course, he had let in the first goal of the game, which was called back. That was also kind of an outside shot.
Great shot.
It was a great shot, though. This it arguably was a grade A shot, the one that was called back, the first one. Yeah, but this one, he's got to have it. Everyone knows it. He knows it. The whole world knows it. And the Oilers lost because of it. And you can't. It's just really hard to win. The Oilers have had goaltending for 2 months. They hardly let in a weak goal for 2 months running, and now it seems like it's every game.
Yep.
So you're gonna start losing games, and the Oilers have now lost 2 in a row. And if it doesn't stop, they're gonna lose more in a row.
Yeah, I thought Pickard kind of lost his net on that one. Like, from the TV angle, it looked like Brodin shot the puck from basically the face-off dot, or a little outside it, and a little like a low angle. And it seemed like Pickard's right skate was completely outside of the net on the short side, and his left skate was inside the post on the far side. And of course, that's where the shot went. And it was a hard slap shot, and it found a perfect hole. I think it ricocheted off of both of Pickard's the bottom of his glove and the top of his pad, and it hit both in rapid succession, and then just kind of squibbed its way through and into the net. And for Jonas Brodin, sweet revenge. Last time he played in this building, he got knocked out of the game by a very marginal, borderline, some would say dirty Evander Kane hit, where he left the game and missed the next month after that injury. And not only did Kane not get penalized, but Minnesota did in the ruckus that ensued, and Oilers scored the winning goal on the power play. So fans of Jonas Brodin would say justice got served. Karma got served tonight.
Yeah, some karma there.
He's a nice player, Brodin, but 5 goals, when you got a 5-goal scorer shooting from outside at an angle, you would expect your goalie to make that save. And
is that 5 career goals?
No, that's this year.
Okay, all right.
He's not, offense, the shutdown defense is his thing, and he's a very, very good at it.
He is.
But
He is good at it. Okay. Where are we at now, Bruce?
That was your bad thing, right?
Yeah, you did your bad
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Number, what's your number?
Yeah. My number is 19. And this is Connor McDavid's stats for the last, starting on Friday, 2 weeks ago today. Let me bring it back up. I had it earlier. Since February 9th. And this is NHL leading scorers since they still haven't updated it, but I can update it because he got 2 more assists tonight.
Yeah.
So 8 games played since February 9th. Connor McDavid, 0 goals, 19 assists for 19 points, which is the most points in the NHL without benefit of a single goal. 19 straight assists for this player. It's kind of hard to believe.
Why do you think he's not scoring so much this year, Bruce? What's your take on it?
I think last year. I thought he was really focused on upping his goal scoring, and he wanted to. I think he really wanted to win the Rocket Richard Trophy once in his career, and he was sort of. He was just shooting more, but he was shooting better. He was beating goalies from the high slot, and he would sometimes even, sift one in from outside that would, find a hole and surprise and hit the net. And this year, most of the stuff he's doing is like trickery from in close. Like he's very, very good at this high, short side shot from almost on the goal line. He hit 2 posts doing that tonight, but no goals. Again, no joy. But I just don't see that he's beating goalies from distance at all. And I also sense some reluctance to let go in situations where I think he should shoot from there, and he'll force the extra pass. So I wonder if, is there a wrist or some kind of physical issue that's maybe making it painful to shoot, or that's changed his approach a little, where he just doesn't have quite as much strength on the shot, that he doesn't trust it to beat a goalie because it's not as strong as it could be. I don't know, but I do know that here we are in the last week of February, and he's got 21 goals. And last year in the last week of February, he scored his 50th of the season. They were a little further along. It was game 61 that he did that. But
wow.
Right now he has 21 in 54 games. So he needs to score 29 goals in his next 7 games, David, if he wants to get to 50 at the same. I mean,
Yeah.
Not.
In
But
terms of
it's a huge, like he's cut in half. His goal production's cut in half.
So he's now got 87 points in 52
He's now,
games.
yeah, once they ever update this thing,
They're always so slow.
he's up to, he's 21 and 66. He's got his assists. Nobody else in the league has 60, and he's already at 66, and he's just soaring. He may well get 100 assists, and if he does, he'll be only the 4th player in NHL history to do that, with the incomparable Wayne Gretzky having done it 11 times. Bobby Orr and Mario Lemieux once each. Nobody else ever and done it even once.
Yeah.
But McDavid, I like his chance to get to 100 assists.
He's now 8 points behind Kucherov. He's closing in, eh? He's closing in. He's closing in.
And he's played 5 fewer games than Kucherov, and the Oilers have played 3 fewer than Tampa Bay. So
3 in
he's
hand.
got 3 games in hand, but his points per game now will have exceeded Kucherov after tonight. They were tied at 1.67, and in fact, he was listed number 1. So he's got 1 point, slightly bigger fraction than the 3rd digit, and he'll have raised it a tiny bit more with 2 points tonight. So he's right in the hunt for the scoring race, and he may well win it. Like, he's certainly getting into range, 8 points.
So Bruce, my number is Leon Draisaitl's power play excellence when it comes to one-timing the puck. He hammered in the executioner shot tonight, and he's 10 for 31 this year. He usually scores on about 33%, at a 33% rate on his executioner shot, and he's right in that category again this year. So now, when it comes to power play goals, though, last year he had 32. This
Yeah.
year, and I don't know if this has been updated, according to Hockey Reference, in 53 games, he's got 13. Are
Yeah, he
they
got his 14th tonight.
14th tonight? So
Yeah.
he's not like, so last year was I'll just go back a few years. It's been 16, 16, 15, 24, 32, 13. Excuse me, 14 this year now. So he's not, in terms of his usual kind of season average of like 16, 16, 15. But he had those 2 years of 24 and 32. He could get up to 24 this year. It's still, that he's on track for about 20, I guess.
Right.
So it's pretty damn good, but it's not the 32 we had last year, which was unbelievable, spectacular.
About 22 he's tracking for.
Is that what it is?
And and other
That's
teams
pretty good.
Opponents are doing a better job of defending that lane to his shot, and goalies are also, I think, doing a better job of anticipating. You better be ready as soon as you see that puck go right to just fling yourself across to that post, because that's where that puck's going. And we saw that last game in overtime with those, especially one wonderful save that Swayman made on a perfectly executed play, and another similar one. And so some credit to the goalies, but often the puck seems to be right on track for Leon, and somebody will snake a stick out and deflect it away. And we saw that at least once tonight, where I thought, this is very promising, and all of a sudden the puck was chipped away.
Remember way back when Leon signed his big contract, some people were saying his 16.9% shooting percentage was unsustainable. And well, since that time, he did have 1 year. The next year, he had 12.9% shooting. But after that, it's been 21.6, 19.7, 18.5, 19.8, 21.1, and this year 19.1 before tonight's game. He is a career 18.2% shooter. So,
and if you 6 years in a row north of 18%, which is pretty phenomenal, and it's certainly clearly sustainable. Reminiscent of the great Yari Curry, who had 7 consecutive seasons over 20%, with the middle 4 of them being over 25%. He had 4 straight years over 25%. And of course, he had the greatest playmaker in history setting him up, and he was making his shots count. And we're seeing some of that certainly trickle down from Leon. He's converting a lot of those goals, especially the power play goals, would be off McDavid's path, like that beauty backhand feed he sent over there tonight.
Bruce, tonight's conundrum is there's been a lot of talk about Evan Bouchard not being able to get off his shot on the power play, and the typical notion is you just got to shoot more. And what I'm noticing is all the players on the Oilers power play have a great reluctance to shoot unless they can get off a really good shot. And maybe to a man, they could all shoot a little bit more. But I'm not seeing a lot of clear looks for Evan Bouchard where he's could drill the puck and he's not drilling it. And it's particularly the case when it goes over. There's no one actually. There's no set plays for Evan Bouchard to hammer the puck. I can't even imagine in my mind's eye, like we can all imagine the play where Leon Draisaitl is going to get the pass and hammer his executioner shot. It's Connor McDavid charging into the slot, whipping it over, or it's McDavid passing it back to Nuge and Nuge putting it over, or it's McDavid, nice backhand pass tonight to do the same thing. That's kind of the Nuge play from the higher in the slot to set up Draisaitl. I can't think of the set play, though, to get off Evan Bouchard's shot. And it strikes me, if they want to shoot more, they're going to have some set plays. And I think it's probably going to come from from McDavid. Draisaitl has kind of a hard time getting off that pass because he's passing it kind of across his body back to Bouchard. And Bouchard's kind of got to be behind Draisaitl to cover him in case there's a turnover there. So I think it's going to be McDavid wheeling with the puck and working with Bouchard, maybe just at the top, because they've got to cover McDavid at the top, and then just Bouchard playing off him a bit and getting the shot that way. And I think maybe they should look for that a bit more than they do. But I think that'll be the play. Maybe Nugent Hopkins could also make that play, where they move high towards the point with the puck, either McDavid or Nugent Hopkins, and they have a secondary option of either shooting it themselves or passing down to Draisaitl, or laying it off to Bouchard on the other side. So that might be the play that we'll see if we want to see Bouchard shoot more. And I think that we do probably, because he does have a wicked shot.
He does have a wicked shot. I think the one-timer on the power play, it's evolved over the years to basically the two wingers on the circles being the guys that are in the best position to hammer one-timers. A right shot in the left circle like Ovechkin, left shot in the right circle like Draisaitl, where the pass can be coming sort of across the seam to them, or even can be coming from behind a little bit, where the guy's passing from higher in the zone to them in the circle, and they let her rip. The D-man one-timer was a very common thing like 10, 15 years ago. But that was from a time when most teams ran, well, often two D-men on the points on the power play, or certainly 2 points on the power play. Or even they used to do the umbrella where they had the 2 side points and then the high guy in the middle. And they'd automatically line up the D-men, even if it was a normal pairing, they'd flip them so that the right shot guy was on the left and the lefty on the right, just for the purpose of one-timers. And often it was a D to D pass that the guy was hammering away. And now to set up the defenseman on the point, you're actually passing the puck back to him from further up in the zone. And I don't think that's just quite so easily done. And
It's
also
not.
the one D-man, it used to be the two guys would sort of each cover half the ice. Well, the one guy's got to sort of cover the whole 85 feet right along the blue line. So he's not necessarily going to be standing around in one particular spot, like Sheldon Surrey, just waiting for someone to slip that pass over and he bombs away, right? It's just the structure of the power play, not just Edmonton. So sort of the modern thinking of the power play. One D-man on the point, 4 forwards, 1-3-1. And it just seems like the one-timer are just coming from different parts of the sheet. You want to do it, you want to set up Bouchard, put him in the left circle, and put another D-man, Ekholm or somebody in center point who can feed pucks over there, and then have the bumper who can feed pucks over there, and you got maybe feeds coming to that guy from 2 or 3 directions. He's going to hammer some shots, but it's not the modern theory, and so. I mean, he's doing fine. He's scoring goals and assists on the power play, but the one-timer is not necessarily the weapon of choice.
In theory, if McDavid kind of looped back and got the puck high in the middle of the ice at the blue line, and then Bouchard moved off to one side and Draisaitl on the other, it might open up things for both Draisaitl and Bouchard, because right now they're doing a much better job, I think, of shutting down that pass.
Yes.
Excuse me, to Draisaitl. But it's because McDavid's coming down the wing, on the opposite side of the ice, on the left side of the ice. So, and he's going to make that pass over to Draisaitl. Still an effective play. He still scores a lot of goals that way. He scored, I think it's 10 on one-timers on the power play. But if McDavid, if they change it up and McDavid attacks from the middle of the ice, loops back, gets the pass in the middle of the ice, then Bouchard. Then he has the option of either he can make a quick pass to Bouchard right away for boom, quick one-timer, or penetrate. He could drop it back to Bouchard for the one-timer, or he could pass to Draisaitl. So that might be something to look at if they're listening to the pod. If Glenn Gullett's listening to the
is
he
critiquing his power play and saying, "Well, tomorrow night I want to go better than 2 for 2." Let's hear what the hockey people have to say.
That's exactly what's going on there. That's why
they're
paid
better
big
than 2
bucks.
for 2, 3 for 3, or 8 for 8. Drawing a few more penalties would be helpful.
Yeah,
but there does seem to be a quota.
Yeah, Bruce. Let's we in the previous podcast that didn't record, we did talk trades. Let's put that off till tomorrow night, because we'll have one more game to go on. And we'll call it a night for tonight. Thanks for talking tonight.
All right. Thanks for listening, everyone.
And in the meantime, and in between times, this has been another edition of the Cult of Hockey podcast. Bruce, thanks for your patience. Good night.
No problem.